Bethesda and Xbox held a roundtable today where we finally got a crystal clear answer on exclusivity for those titles moving forward, and a whole bunch of Bethesda games are hitting Game Pass tomorrow. We have a lot here to talk about, so let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? It's Randall Thor19, the man with the million, back again with another video. I hope everyone's having a great day, and if you're an Xbox fan, I have a feeling you are. So please, hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you guys for checking out the video and for all the continued support. It means the world to me. I gotta say, what a difference a couple days makes. Xbox and Bethesda held a roundtable today, which I thought was pretty entertaining, pretty informative, and was exactly what I expected from this Thursday, March 11th Bethesda Xbox event. If you go back and listen to my previous videos, I said Phil Spencer and Todd Howard and others would basically be on stage and they would talk about the history of Bethesda, what it means to work with Xbox moving forward, and they would kind of take a tour throughout all the other Bethesda studios such as id Software, Arcane, Machine Games, and ZeniMax Online. It was a video to introduce the Xbox community to who these developers are, what games they have made, and potentially what they might be doing in the future. And the future certainly is looking pretty damn amazing if you're an Xbox fan, and even better if you're subscribed to Xbox Game Pass. So I really recommend any Xbox fan out there that wants to learn more about Bethesda and the history behind all the studios and the franchises to make sure you go check out that hour-long roundtable. I found it pretty informative and entertaining, and I think you would too. But as usual, when it comes to Bethesda and Xbox, the discussion always turns to exclusivity. Where will I be able to play Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, and all the great Bethesda games coming out in the future? Would I be able to play them on my Switch or PlayStation 5? Or would those games be exclusive to platforms that have Xbox Game Pass, like the Xbox One, the Xbox Series consoles, and the PC? And finally, we got a very definitive answer from Phil Spencer today. Even though online I see a ton of people and even media outlets trying to do these mental gymnastics to try to convince themselves that one, Bethesda games aren't very good, and number two, well, these games will eventually show up on my platform of choice. Phil's just playing coy here. Now, a couple days ago, we got a PR piece from Phil Spencer as he welcomed Bethesda to Team Xbox. And in that PR piece, there was a single paragraph that people debated nonstop for the past couple days. The word some. Phil Spencer said that some games would be exclusive to Xbox and PC moving forward. And I was very critical about Xbox's PR and messaging in that case because it allowed everybody to have their own interpretation of what Phil Spencer meant by those words. But after today, that's no longer the case. Xbox presented a very crystal clear, laser-focused message regarding exclusivity, and this is what I wanted from the beginning. Now, if you've been paying attention and listening to all the videos I make, especially dating back to September 22nd when Microsoft acquired Bethesda, I said that moving forward, once the existing contracts are done, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo launching on the PlayStation 5, that the vast majority of Bethesda games would only be on Xbox PC and platforms that support Game Pass. A lot of people agreed with me, and there was plenty of people who didn't, who said they have to sell these games on PlayStation. You just can't drop that user base. Microsoft is going to have to make their money back somehow. But after today, those conversations and debates will begin to wind down because Phil Spencer was pretty damn crystal clear to me when he said what he said, and I'm gonna play it right now.
But one of the biggest ones, Phil, is this question about exclusivity and how you think about that and how that's gonna work with Bethesda.
Yeah, I see it. I see it in the community. I listen to the podcasts and all the questions. So I'm going to try to be as clear as I can because that's what I just think it's fair. So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that's not true. There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. There's communities of players. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have either contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go do. But if we're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. And that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building. And the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers is going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here.
So there you have it, straight from the mouth of Phil Spencer, and I need to reiterate this once again because it's exactly what I've been saying since September. Phil says, quote, "If you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. That's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building." So basically, Phil Spencer is telling everybody the reason we spent those $7.5 billion is to have more exclusive games for our Xbox customers to put in Game Pass. That's why they're doing this. It's the root of the entire partnership. And I'm just having flashbacks to all the people that told me, Rand, they have to put these games on PlayStation. They won't abandon the 120 million PlayStation nation. But what you forget to realize is that it's the start of a new generation. And while yes, the PlayStation 4 has 120 million units sold, the PlayStation 5 isn't at that number just yet. Everything starts over. So while these games coming up, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, the next Doom, etc., will all be exclusive, Microsoft isn't essentially abandoning those 120 million strong PlayStation users because PlayStation will only have about 5, 6, or 7 million by the time Starfield launches this fall. And people forget about that. And I know there's still some concern because Phil mentioned future contracts and legacy and all that stuff. Let me explain this for people. So Phil started out the whole quote basically saying, hey, we can't say all because we know that Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo are coming out on PlayStation 5, right? We're going to honor those contracts. And we're not going to take games that are already on other platforms away, like the Fallout 4s and the Doom Eternals, but especially the MMOs like Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. They will continue to get support, expansions, all that stuff. The investment will continue there. But moving forward, everything's going to be on Game Pass, Xbox, and PC. Now, people get hung up on this quote about future contracts and legacy. Phil is basically referring to those online games as legacy, and future contracts, I think, might have something to do with Indiana Jones, where it's a deal that Bethesda signed before Xbox bought them. That game might have to be on as many different platforms as possible. That is what it means. Look, and for any of those PlayStation fans that do follow me that have been pretty adamant that Microsoft would put those games on PlayStation because they need that money, because they won't recoup the $7.5 billion investment back right away, I'm going to explain exactly what this means for Microsoft and why those individual sales on PlayStation do not matter to Xbox at all. You see, when Starfield comes out and it's exclusive to Xbox Game Pass and PC, people will be scratching their head. Why are you abandoning PlayStation? Because Xbox doesn't need one-time sales anymore. Microsoft's entire business model has shifted to recurring revenue. So if they put Starfield on PlayStation and someone buys it there, after Sony takes their 30% cut, Xbox will get around $45. But Microsoft and Xbox's business model don't care for one-time payment. They want recurring revenue. And that is the reason why those games will be exclusive to Xbox ecosystem, so people could come in and subscribe to Game Pass for either $10 or $15 a month, every single month for years and years. And if you can convince millions of people to maybe look at Xbox in a different way that normally wouldn't, maybe that person buys the Xbox Series S that is $300 and a perfect companion console to the PlayStation 5 or the Nintendo Switch. Or maybe those people say, you know what, I have a pretty beefy PC. I can play those games there. Let me subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. Or maybe they have a smart TV. And what do you know? Xbox is going to be putting a Game Pass and xCloud app on smart TVs later this year. And all you really need is a controller, an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, and you can play it. All you have to do is subscribe. It's about annual recurring revenue. It's no longer about a one-time payment. So Xbox is betting that these people will want to play those games. And then when they see all the other games coming from Xbox's first-party studios like Perfect Dark, Gears 6, Halo Infinite, Avowed, Fable, all those games, Xbox feels those gamers will make an investment and Xbox will begin to start making money hand over fist. Recurring annual revenue is the name of the game. So someone who just buys a game one time isn't as important as a person who joins the Xbox ecosystem, subscribes to Game Pass or Xbox Live, starts making their third-party purchases on Xbox, including DLCs and microtransaction. That is where the money is, and that is why these games are exclusive to the Xbox ecosystems and platforms that have Game Pass. Now, as part of this roundtable, Xbox announced today that you can start playing 20 iconic Bethesda games on Game Pass PC, console, and the cloud starting tomorrow. And some of these games might even be getting FPS boost at some point in time. I know Aaron Greenberg mentioned that Oblivion will be getting FPS boost, but they didn't say when. So starting tomorrow, you'll be able to play Dishonored Definitive Edition, Dishonored 2. I recommend both those games. They are amazing. The original Doom, Doom 2, Doom 64, Doom 3, and the incredible Doom Eternal, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Prey, Rage 2, Elder Scrolls Morrowind from the original Xbox, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Wolfenstein New Order, Wolfenstein Old Blood, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. I really appreciate the straightforward and crystal clear messaging that Phil Spencer dropped today during the roundtable, and I'm very happy that we can move past this Bethesda exclusivity since we got the answer we were looking for, and we can begin to talk about all the great games that Bethesda will drop exclusively on Xbox, PC, and platforms that have Game Pass. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified immediately whenever I drop a new video like this. Please share this out on social media or tell a friend about the channel. And if you want to take your support even further, you can always hit the join button where you will get access to channel badges and emotes for the podcast we do every single week with Jez Corden from Windows Central. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.